In the intricate art of weaving, every thread is essential. Each strand, while small on its own, contributes to a greater design, often a story told. Our planet, a tapestry of life, is woven from countless threads, actions and decisions, each holding the power to shape our future. But this tapestry is fraying. Threads strained by the weight of our choices, our challenges, and our mistakes. Our tapestry can no longer sustain the richness and diversity it once held.
Climate change, or as people call it, climate crisis, is definitely the most pressing issue facing humanity today.
World leaders and activists have often sought grand solutions, such as the Rio Earth Summit in 1992.
No other nation has laid out such a specific plan of action. And that's why we insisted that the focus be on results, not on rhetoric.
To the Paris Climate Accords in 2015.
With the same conviction that we need to ensure sustainable and equitable development without in any way compromising the limited resources of our planet.
However, global leaders have consistently fallen short in delivering results. A 2012 analysis in the Nature journal found that nations have failed to achieve even a fraction of the promises made at the Rio conference. And, in fact, many countries have increased emissions since the Kyoto conference. This in addition to the historic compromise on fossil fuels at the most recent United Nations Climate Change Conference in December 2023. And we, the people, have watched helplessly as temperatures rose.
Tells us that global temperatures have increased a little more than 1 degree Celsius.
Wildfires ravaged our homes.
How did the nation's deadliest wildfire happen with no warning?
And hurricanes devastated our neighborhoods.
The storm surge would be unsurvivable.
But if our government's lofty goals and big promises have not saved us, perhaps it's time we shift our focus to empowering individuals. We need to transform fear and despair into actionable hope, especially in the choices we make every day. Consider something most of us encounter daily: fast fashion. It's a relentless cycle of rapidly produced, cheap clothing, enabling companies like Zara, H&M, and Shein to almost sell that jacket on last week's cover of Vogue.
Unfortunately, fast fashion has become very popular with consumers, but it comes at a high cost to our planet. Fast fashion relies on cheap manufacturing, frequent consumption, and short-lived garment use.
The average American wears their clothes just 7 times before it's thrown out. The fashion industry is responsible for over 10% of all carbon emissions and 20% of all global wastewater. But what does that mean? It means that across the world, over 120 million trees have been cut down for the production of fashion goods. Jeans, which are made of denim.
For the longest time, and even still in a lot of places, takes up a ton of water and a ton of energy to develop.
It means that the water and dye used to treat clothes often ends up polluting water, making children sick and causing animals to go extinct at a rate never seen before. But it's not just about water waste, landfills, or carbon emissions. It's about our choices as consumers. Because companies
are going to respond to what the market demands are. And so as long as the consumers don't care, I don't think they're going to care.
So if we wait for companies to put people and the planet before profit, we might never stop waiting until it's too late. So what can we do? Well, consider how nutritional labels have transformed our eating habits. Once unaware, we are now conscious consumers in food aisles, making choices that affect our health and the environment. What if clothing came with a similar, simple label, a tag that tells the tale of its climate impact, from water consumption, carbon footprint, to durability? But it's not just a label. It's a tool for empowerment. It's about giving individuals the information to make sustainable choices, to be part of a larger solution.
I don't think you can ever go wrong by being a consumer advocate. And that's been one of the hallmarks of my legislative life.
Imagine, in the next 20 years, an America where every clothing choice contributes to a healthier planet, where consumer empowerment has turned the tide on climate change. Because even though you're just one person,
when all those one people come together, they create a marketplace, they create a social consciousness, they create a public sensibility about what is and isn't acceptable.
If we, the people, change our buying habits, prioritize quality over quantity, we could start a movement.
And ultimately, the consumer's buying power and exercise of choice will influence the industry.
People fighting for change created America. People fighting for change created a place where anyone with a dream can make an impact. So let's take this dream, where we won't have to apologize to our grandchildren for having to wear a mask when they go outside, and where we don't have to ask them to imagine polar bears and pandas because we drove them extinct. As America looks towards the next 20 years, the path to significant change lies in the smallest steps. By recognizing the power of our collective actions, we can turn the tide. This is a blueprint for a better tomorrow, a tapestry woven from our collective actions. It's a story of empowering individuals. Together, we have the power to weave the threads of change for a sustainable future.